MomNurse Fashionistas. Oh my goodness. Hey y'all. Hey. Welcome to this live. So tonight I wanted to talk about how it is HEDIS season. Of course, some places, companies, HEDIS season has started, but some companies are still looking for HEDIS nurses. And I wanted to talk about this job that I came across on a couple of days ago that's still active. It's still up rather. The position is available. And so I just wanted to come on here. I have some good news about HEDIS season. I just wanted to come on here. So anyway, I'm gonna jump right into it. If you're watching the replay, make sure you hit a like. Welcome back to the MomNurse Fashionista, where I love to encourage and inspire moms and nurses, male nurses too, but especially the moms and the nurses. Make sure when you come in, you hit a like. But I wanted to come in and talk about this job and just talk about the greatness that has been happening in my life and things. I haven't come on here since last year. Since last week. Happy New Year, y'all. Happy New Year. Baby, we is in a new week, a new year. We about to be in the next week of January. That's crazy. So these 6 days don't flew by. And I just wanted to come on here because, last year, I was laying down last night and I was like, it was my first night off, y'all. I usually work nights, but I'm not on my night job no more. And I could not go to sleep. I'm still on, like, my body's still used to working at night. And I just came across something one time a while ago. I had read something and it had said something about how, it's nurses in the medical world about the cytokine storm. But sometimes we'll be in that storm like that spiritually. And I feel like a lot of that was going on with me last year. But I also feel like a lot of that was going on last year because I was not putting all my faith into God. Child. And yeah, we go through that. I always preach to y'all. And I say preach because I'm like big on faith. And I always talk about faith. But if your faith not where it's supposed to be at, sometimes God will put a whole whipping on us to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing and being obedient. So I was like, I got to come on here and talk to them, not just about the HEDIS job and what y'all need to be doing, because I be getting so many people that are already clients of mine or have been clients of mine. Or potential clients, or just people that email me all the time. I love y'all emails. They're so inspiring. And I'd be like, listen, this is what you're going to have to do. First of all, you're going to have to put yourself out there. And I talked about that last time in my last live. I talked about that on my last short. Well, I've done a couple of shorts now. So y'all, I put shorts up. Sometimes God just will give me, he'll give me messages and I have to get them out there. I have to record it at the moment or I'll lose it. And that just be God speaking to me to give a word to y'all. And I talked about staying intentional, but you have to make sure that you do what you got to do to get out here and do it and get it done. Because sometimes God will lay blessings in our lap. He'll just bless you because you've been doing right and you've been doing all the right things, right? But then sometimes he wants you to put the work in and he wants you to be diligent. And that's what I've been talking about, being diligent and staying diligent, because that is so important. So anyway, I had did a live about what y'all need to do as far as getting a job. Then I put up a short about how to get a remote job, because it's hard, but at the same time it's hard to get any job. And the most important thing that y'all need to do is be diligent and make sure that you are doing everything you need to do, like I always talk about with LinkedIn, what I always talk about with Indeed, what I always talk about with all these other job search engines. Making sure if you get in a relationship with the recruiter, or like say for instance a recruiter reach out to you and it may not be a position for you, or maybe the position is filled, to make sure that you are building relationships with these recruiters. It is very important, because a lot of times they'll come back and they'll remember you. And it has happened to me more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. It has happened to me a lot. And that's how I've been building relationships with recruiters to share to y'all when I get these jobs. So if you like a client of mine, or if you're in my LPNs only private Facebook group that I have for LPNs, it's called LPNs only. If you talk to me like through messengers and instant messenger on any of the platforms of social media, I like to give jobs and stuff like that, but I always talk about how you have to stay diligent, and I always give the jobs, and I always talk about these recruiters and reaching out to them, but you have to make sure you stay diligent, and you have to also build relationships. And y'all, it is like so important. So anyway, last night when I was thinking about being in a storm. And a lot of times we are in storms, and it may be because God just trying to get you where you want to be at, but you don't imagine going through a storm to get there, right? Then sometimes it may just be that you ain't doing what God told you to do and you being disobedient, so God putting a whipping on you. Or sometimes your faith may not be as strong as you think it is, and so you're not putting enough faith in God. And so that is why I wanted to come on here and talk about that, because heated season is among us, and the recruiters are out here and they are looking and they are emailing. They've been emailing me all last week. I haven't had that many recruiters reach out to me like all this week and a couple of weeks in December. I've been having recruiters reach out to me. And so a lot of times when recruiters reach out, and I mean, I can't do nothing with the job, I share it. Or I do a video and I'm like, hey, these recruiters, anybody looking for this particular job if they're in this particular city, right? But I also talk about faith, because a couple of days ago, I had a client, and I've had a lot of clients like this. And a lot of times I tell them, it may not be you, it's not you, it's not your resume, especially if I've done their resume, if they had career coaching, it don't have nothing to do with them. It's not them, it's just not their season, it's not their time, especially if they being diligent and they're applying themselves and they're applying to jobs, and they're doing all the right things, right? And so I've had a couple of clients this has really happened to, but I definitely had a client that this happened to a couple of weeks ago, and I was actually setting up finna like do some pretend content. So I was just finna like act like I'm typing something up, and I was finna create some content and put some words across the screen, right, to give y'all some tips on a remote job. But then as I was opening up my email, I saw one of my clients, and it was like in real time because I had already set my camera up and it was recording. And I was like, oh, let me just open up my email. And I opened up my email, and my client, she was like, finally good news. And I was like, what's this? And she sent me this beautiful, first of all, it had made me emotional because she sent me a beautiful card. She had just had a baby, and she was like, I need to work from home. I need to be a work from home nurse to be home with my baby. Big ups to all the people with little kids, toddlers, that they want to keep home, because daycare, I get it, all the nasty stuff, and then daycare, and big ups to y'all, because I would be just like y'all if I had little ones too that was in daycare. So I get it. And so anyway, and so she was like, I was helping her find a job anyway. She was my client, and I was just being diligent. Anytime I came across a job for her, I was sending her so many jobs. She was applying to so many jobs, and never a call back, never a call back. And she was like, I got my Christmas present. And she sent me a beautiful Christmas card, and she got her remote job. But you know, one thing that I got out of her was that she was diligent and she never lost faith. And she used to be down, and I used to be like, listen, you got to keep applying yourself, because obviously the jobs that you're applying to are not the jobs that God wants you to have. Those are not what he wants you to have. So you got to continue to stay diligent. And that's all I can say about this right here. Like, I'm going to, I can give you the job. I can give you the recruiter. Like, I can give you everything right there in your lap. But you got to also stay diligent and do your part. And you got to apply yourself, because after I give you the job, after I give you the recruiter, then you have to apply yourself, and you have to do good on your interviews. You have to apply yourself and study, because most of the times for HEDIS specifically, thank you for the light. For HEDIS specifically, it is, once you get in the HEDIS job, so I'm going to tell you this. When I got my HEDIS job, first of all, I didn't apply for my HEDIS job. Y'all, let me tell you something. God is so good. I have done a video talking about something currently, but in 2016, I applied for HEDIS, and I sucked at it. I didn't even know what a HEDIS was. It was a lot of YouTube stuff on HEDIS. It was very confusing, and I sucked in that interview. Well, fast forward, I started updating my resume in 2018. I went back to nursing school. You know, I was going back to get my RN. So in 2019, I was trying to find a job that, you know, I could go to work and go to school. And so my resume was out there. Again, be diligent. You got to do everything. You got to apply yourself. You got to update your resume. So these databases, it will, you know, it's just like the algorithm. Once you update your resume in the system, then more recruiters will find you, right? So I was updating my resume, and then this man called me. I'll never forget, it was like 6 o'clock in the evening, and it was an agency right here where I'm from in Florida. And he was like, hey, how you doing? I know you applied to us, and we got the same position coming up. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I don't even know what it's about, but okay. I didn't understand. He was like, you done been a telehealth nurse, you done been a clinical coordinator since then. But within those roles, I did a lot. I did a lot of stuff that was similar to HEDIS. Okay, this is why I always talk about, maybe you ain't worked that exact position, but you had experience, right? So then he was like, hey, I want you to interview for this position. I think you'll be a good candidate. And I interviewed for the position, and I got the position. I interviewed with the agency, and then, of course, I knew I was going to do good with that. I don't really have a problem when it comes to interviews, because if you need a job, you got to put your, like, the intimidation of the interviewer, you got to put all that nervousness and crap aside and be like, hey, I need this money, and this is what I want to do, and these are my goals. And that's how I kind of go into a mindset of an interview. And then he was like, oh, you did good on this interview. Okay, I'm sending you to the hiring manager. And he fixed my resume up. My resume was already good, but he fixed it up really nice. It was already fixed up nice, but it was the way he put on my resume to focus on the things that helped me get the HEDIS job with the hiring managers. Because remember, you have to go through the interview with the staffing agency, interview with the hiring managers. I had to do a test after I did the interview with the staffing agency. It's a whole process with HEDIS, right? And I got the job. And when I went in there, baby, I was not playing. You hear me? Like, I wasn't playing with them, because first of all, I was listen, y'all. You have to go back to my videos of 2019. But I used to be coming on here crying to y'all like, working 12-hour shifts ain't for me no more. Because the people that were supposed to be helping me in my life was not helping me. They were not there. And I ain't make no babies on my own. And this ain't even just about that. This is about people who I sat down with, like a support system. I'm like, hey, I'm going back to nursing school. You already know what it was like way back in 2011, 2010, 209, all back then. You know how nursing school was for me. So I need the support. And it was like, okay, cool. But then when I got in school, they switched on me. And so I was like, I can't depend on other people to help me. I got to do this for myself. And that's what I pretty much did. And so I was like, God, I need a job where I could just work 8 to 5 every day. I ain't got to be working no 12-hour shifts and worrying about nobody keeping my churn and all this and that. And let me tell you something. I killed that doggone interview. You hear me? I was not playing. And I got that. By the time I don't know, maybe the next day I found out I had the job. But y'all, I did not apply for this job. But I was diligent, and I did my part before that. I was applying myself, filling out, applications after applications, and doing resumes, and I was updating my resume. So I'm going to tell you this right here. I fast forward to 20. So that job, I had that job, and then I had got laid off. And then I started helping y'all find jobs, because when I had COVID in 2020, so many people was asking me to help them find jobs. And I was like, okay, well, once I get better, I'll just send y'all the jobs. I was just sending people jobs for free. I ain't even care, whatever. I can work the jobs. But then I was like, I got to find a way to make some money once I got laid off. So I turned it into a side hustle, then a business. And I've been helping. I don't even know how many people I've helped. I don't even keep up with that. I just be very happy that I can make an impression and an impact on people's lives. Because our career is all about our career, right? That's what made the world go round. And that's my passion, to help y'all and give y'all the tools and the tips to help y'all and overcome different circumstances. You got to take care of your parents. You got to take care of your partner, your husband, your wife. You need to take care of your kids. Crazy things going on in the school system, and you want them home, so you want to work from home. Or you just want a better job, because I don't focus on just remote. Like, if you want to just make a shift in your career, okay, cool. Whatever you want to do. And so I literally I just been doing my own thing, y'all. Doing my own thing. I had been applying to jobs that would work best for me, but with the kids being sick all last year, it was a lot of mess that happened last year. And the kids was being sick. I probably worked for 3-4 different companies last year. Only I had to quit them, because I don't play when people, thank you for the like, I do not play when people try me when my kids are sick, because for one, I cannot help my kids are sick. And I think it's so weird that we are nurses and you're working in a medical field, and you sit right here and play in my face when I tell you my child's sick. Like, if my children are sick, it's the reason why I can't come to work. And several jobs I've had throughout the years have done that. And so I went through so many jobs last year, because I'm not going to stay and you disrespecting me like that. Like, I had people really play in my face and disrespect me, like I'm lying to them about my babies being sick, having surgeries, having sleep studies, then EEGs. Like, I'm not finna lie about that stuff. Like, then we getting sick, and then once they get sick, I'm gonna be sick, and I have to take care of myself. I'm the only parent in the house. So I went through so many jobs, so many illnesses with the kids. During that time, I was like, okay, let me just go back to nights, and I worked nights. And that's what I did. I worked every weekend, nights, for months. And I was just like, let me update my resume because I hadn't been updating my resume. And I had a lady text me and she was like, you want to work for us during HEDIS season? Because I see you have, okay, I see you have, that was my daughter. So my daughter, one of my twins, she had been sick. She was sick so much last year. She missed so much school. This girl would make up homework just to make up homework. And so she had got so behind in her work. She had got behind. But she just finished her work. This girl been doing work during Christmas break, okay? Because that's how serious she is about her work. But that's how sick she had been. And that's how many days she had been missing. Anyway, so I had this lady texting me and she was like, you wanna work for us HEDIS 2024 because I see that you are used to work HEDIS. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. I was like, okay. So then she was like, okay, I'm gonna send you the other recruiter information and they're gonna email you the information for for an interview. And I was like, oh, okay. So I did a little phone interview with him. He was like, oh, I like you, Lauren. I was like, oh, of course you do, And so then he was like, okay, I'm gonna send you over to the hiring manager. And I was like, okay. But y'all, when you do HEDIS, like you have to do so many steps. You got to do like 2 or 3 interviews. You got to do 2 tests, at least 2 tests. Like you have to do a typing test, an Excel test. You got to go through all these interviews. Let me tell y'all something. This is in August, after we left my auntie surprise party, I came home and I got on my knees and I prayed. I literally got on my knees, y'all. Prayers hit different when you get on your knees, okay? I got on my knees and I prayed. And I said, God, I'm just going to give everything to you because I've been playing in your face because my faith been down. And I know it has because, I can be controlling sometime. And I know God don't be playing about me. He don't never play about none of us. He gonna always stand beside you. I need you to know he gonna stand on his business about you. But I was playing in God's face last year. And so I said, girl, you gotta get on with the business. Okay, hold on. You gotta get on with the business. And I was like, okay, so I surrendered everything and things started making, oh, thank you for the hearts. I didn't even know you could do that. And so I had to switch my mindset. I know this guy had told me one time, he was like, last year, he was like, you need to change your mindset about a lot of things. And I was like, oh, okay. I normally be telling people that, but then sometimes you got to take your own advice. And I was like, that's true. And I had to change my mindset. Let me tell y'all something. I started with like bump fear. I'm about to do what I got to do. And I'm about to get my faith in order. That's why I hadn't been on here doing a lot of stuff because I had to like get my mindset together and everything like that. So at any rate, this man called me. He was like, the hiring manager want to interview today. And I was like, I can't do today. It was something going on. I was like, oh, I can't do today. And he was like, okay, well, what about tomorrow? And I was like, okay, cool. And do y'all know, like, it was very informal. It was a phone interview, first of all. It was very informal. It was a phone interview. And the lady was bomb. And I love her. She is good. She's good. And she said, listen, I don't have time to be micromanaging nobody because we all adults here. We know what we need to do. You already done HEDIS, so you know what it is. And we don't have time for all this. And I was like, yeah. And so then we started talking about all this other stuff, how it is, in the nursing world and stuff like that. And she was like, I don't have time for that. And I was like, oh, God, thank you, Jesus. She was like, if you're going to be sick, listen, just send me a calendar invite and not sick, an appointment, let me know. And I was like, okay. So anyway, I was like, God, this what's up. Do y'all know this lady, they called me back the next evening. Or was it that same evening? And I had the job. Like that. I never applied for this job. I never put, I put myself out there as far as like just updating resumes, but I don't even know how they found my resume. I think she told me, but no, she just texted me. She just texted me out of the blue and she was like, hey, I see you used to work HEDIS. And I was like, okay, but listen, you have to stay so diligent in everything you do. And I'm not talking about just like physically, like when it comes to your career. I'm talking about spiritually. Like you have to like be like emotionally, mentally. Like you have to do what you got to do for yourself, man, because things will work. Things will work out. But you just got to stay on top of your game, straight up, like on top of your game. So y'all, I got me a remote job. And I'm so happy because anybody that know about HEDIS know it's a bomb job. Also, I don't know. It's just an awesome thing. Everything just aligned. And I'll talk more about that. I'm editing 2 videos right now about that. Also, the job that I want to talk about, because I didn't come on here to talk about that because I had those videos coming out. I came on here to talk about the HEDIS job. I really do have a for real HEDIS job that paid $40 an hour. I literally I was at my computer with my daughter, and I was like, oh my God, I got to do a video on this. And so I have the link. Like after this video upload, it'll be in the description box. But I give you all the information for the job. It's $40 an hour. First of all, what caught my eye, it said CNA $40 an hour remote. And I was like, what is this? And then it said, I kept reading, y'all, please read the job descriptions, because what if you came across that, look, what if you came across that job and then you was like, oh, I ain't no CNA. But I know on TikTok, I have so many CNAs always reach out to me and want a remote job. So that's why I was like, okay, let me read this job. First of all, I was super excited because it said CNA $40 an hour. And I went through, and you have to read the whole job descriptions, y'all. Please read your job descriptions. And on the job description, it also talked about how you could be an RN, you could be an LPN, you could be a medical assistant. If you're certified in coding, which is if you have your RHIA certification, RHIT certification, and also it talked about if you are a data entry researcher. So if you have any of those experiences, you qualify for this job, which is so bomb. The contract, the job starts in February, y'all. I don't be playing with y'all when I be talking about heated season. Like, I was so mad, I was so sick. Between me and the kids, between September and November last year, we was somebody was always so sick. So I could never do my free HEDIS masterclass. And this masterclass was going to be for my HEDIS class members that has already taken my HEDIS masterclass. And I was going to do a free class preparing them for HEDIS season. But I sent them out some emails. Anybody that took my class, I sent them out an email saying, just send me your resume so I could review it for free. Like, that's what I was doing, because I could never get a master class together. It was just so much going on during that time. But listen to me when I tell you, like, this job, I was so happy. The job starts in February, it ends in May. Heated season normally ends in May. You can't get your contract extended. My contract was extended when I got my first HEDIS job. So you just got to do your job. You got to go in there and don't play with them people in their face. You do have quotas you have to reach. It's not hard. It's confusing when you first learn it because you have a lot of rules to it. And to answer your question, Azia Bay. So welcome to the live. So HEDIS is basically a tool that insurance companies use. So as women, how we have to get mammograms and get pap smears. It's a lot. That would be considered a measure. So like cervical cancer screenings, that's a measure that they use. So they use a HEDIS is a tool. It's just a tool like a grade school, like a grading tool. I like to say it like that. I like to explain it like that. So it's basically like a grading tool that they use. It's a grading tool that they use, and they want to make sure that the patient's members are staying compliant in insurance companies. So when you have an insurance company, when you are enrolled with an insurance company as a member, you have to stay compliant. If you're a certain age, have you gotten your colonoscopy? If you're a certain age, have you gotten your mammogram? If you are between a certain age as a woman, have you gotten your pap smears when you're supposed to? When was your last one? If as a child, are you getting your immunizations, right? That's what HEDIS is. It's a tool. But as a nurse, what we do, we go in and we review charts and make sure our members of the insurance companies are compliant. It's more deep than that. I have a course on HEDIS. I go very deep into HEDIS. I break it down like elementary because HEDIS is very confusing. Now, what I do not do, because I've been having people ask me this, what I do not do is teach you how to abstract a chart. That's not my job to do that. First of all, I don't even have the tools to do that. You have to, that's like HIPAA stuff. It's some people that have that part of a course, but I don't provide it. Baby, I'm gonna go in and we're gonna do it real easy. I'm just gonna give you the foundation of HEDIS to get you the job, to get you into the recruiters, to sell yourself to the recruiters, because sometimes you get these uneducated recruiters, and I'm just keeping it real. Like some of these recruiters don't, they just understand the bare minimum of the job. But if they don't see HEDIS on your resume, they're like, oh, you don't understand. That client doesn't understand HEDIS. And so like one lady, I had to explain to her, I was like, but if a nurse has done this, and this, then they'll be a great candidate for HEDIS. Like if you have worked with HEDIS before, if you have done data abstraction, data entry, if you have overread, if you have worked in a doctor's office, a clinic with kids, in a pediatric doctor's office, like you have a lot of knowledge. Like you could bring that knowledge to HEDIS. Like you will be a great asset and a great tool for HEDIS. You know, and so that's what I teach you in my HEDIS course. I break it all the way down. And my course is self-paced. It's always available. You just click on the link and you get it. It's always available to you. It's self-paced and it's a pre-recorded course. So it doesn't, you know, it don't matter when you do it. Once you pay for it, you do it your own timing. But it's now HEDIS season, y'all, and the job is out there. And I'll put the link down. I forgot the name of the company because I never heard of that company. But the insurance companies use the staffing agencies to find the HEDIS nurses, just so y'all know. So like you can have like 60 HEDIS nurses for one company, and y'all are, it's a lot of y'all through all different types of agencies, just so you know. Okay. Y'all, you know what I had said when I first did HEDIS? HEDIS reminds me of hospice nursing. So when I got in hospice, I worked for 2 different companies doing hospice. And baby, hospice is a whole different thing. Like the nurses are so nice. Y'all know how it could be when you go in these facilities and stuff in hospitals. Like the nurses are so nice. That's how HEDIS is. Like everybody is so nice. I don't know if it's because you off your feet and you just relax and you just trying to get this work done and get this money. Like I don't know. But it's like different. Everybody is so sweet. Everybody is so nice and so helpful. And so yeah, I think all nurses should try HEDIS. I think they should try utilization management, or try case management, or care coordination, or prior authorization. Again, it all depends on the company you work for, because I know one girl asked me, I think the company was Optum, and she asked me, do they micromanage? And I really don't know. I know that's a very good company, but I don't know if they micromanage, because that's a personal thing. That's like leadership thing. That's the supervisor. You know, some supervisors are cool, and you know that supervisor have a supervisor. So it just all depends. I hope that answered your question, Azia, if you're still on here. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. But I just wanted to come on here and give y'all that word because it was on my heart. And but just to stay diligent and apply yourself, and apply to jobs. I don't know how many jobs I applied to when I got maybe not the clinical coordination job. I was already working for that company, and then they brought me in. I don't even want to talk about that company, but I had when I did telehealth, I know a lot of people ask me about telehealth. I love telehealth. It was bomb, but I only quit because I was ready to go back to school, and I was at a time in my life, a great opportunity where I could go to school. And so that's why I did it. But telehealth is real good too. So telehealth is usually remote. Now telehealth do pay less. I found since 2019, I have found one time telehealth paying real good. And I'm just saying all telehealth, but I mean, it's good, whatever. It ain't always about money. Sometimes it's about your mental health, to be honest. But yeah, so it's about money because you need to make money, duh. But sometimes it's about your mental health. But yeah, the telehealth job is good too. That's another remote job that they have out there that would be good. Y'all can watch my last telehealth video. I'll put that in the description box as well. But I broke down everything about telehealth. But that's all I want to come on here and talk to y'all about. Are y'all doing good? Are y'all doing good in y'all this is 6th day. 6 people in here, 6th year, 6th day of the year. So thank y'all for the likes. I hope I was encouraging. I put a video up today. The video up today actually has the did I put the link? Oh, I give you all the information on the job because I was actually recording it as I found it, so I can't remember what the name of the company is. But that information is in there. Also, I have another video up talking about what happened with, it's a short with the remote job. And then I have more videos coming up, y'all. I'm trying to get these videos out. I'm trying to be more active over here. It's just, you know, life be lifing, and so, you know, life calls. But I'm trying to be more active over here. I do miss y'all. I had a girl ask me about having more LPN videos. I will be doing more LPN videos. I had somebody also ask me about a LPN video saying, what is the easiest and quickest way to get a LPN? And I don't think nobody should go into nursing school with that kind of mindset, because we all know as nurses, it ain't no quick way. At least for me, it wasn't no quick way. You know, if y'all don't know, I started off in RN school. You know, I was in there for a year. And then, you know, the stupid, you know, I don't call it stupid now because it actually helped me pass my boards, but we had to take that assessment, ATI, and I hated them. And I hated it. And I retook it twice and I failed. You know, they they dismissed me from that cohort, and I started all the way over the whole program all over again. And I just was like, when I started that program over at RN school, I just didn't even care. Like, cause it was doing the same thing all over again. I had a straight attitude, like, why would this happen to me? And so then I ended up flunking it. I just didn't apply myself at all. And so I was kicked out of the program, but the director over the program was cool. She was nice. She was nice to tell me this. She was like, don't give up on nursing. Because I've always wanted to be a nurse since I was a child. But I was like, I would just go back into the clerical world where I was at. And she was like, don't do that. Go be an LPN. You could go to so-and-so school. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really understand LPN school back then, but I got kicked out in May, middle of May, right after my birthday. And I was in RN school by the end of May. I mean, LPN school by the end of May. And so that is my testimony. So even if you fail, wherever you at in your life, like, don't ever quit, man. Just keep going. It don't even matter. Like, what matters in the end is that you kept going to pursue your dream and pursue your goals. So I'm going to do a video on LPN school. I haven't been talking about it because that hasn't been my focus, but I'm going to do that. And I have some videos. I have some great videos coming up. It's kind of like my vlogs. I used to do vlogs back when I was in school back in 2019, 2020. But yeah, I have some great things coming for the channel this year. I'm so excited, y'all. So excited. So anyway, thank y'all for the likes and sticking with me throughout the video. If you don't have any questions, I guess I'll talk to y'all next time. And y'all will see me next time. I should have a video coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday, yeah. So I should have a video coming out tomorrow. And yeah. Okay, y'all. All right, y'all have an awesome day or night wherever you are. And remember, no matter your adversities, you are an overcomer. And baby, the book is coming. The book release is coming. Like, the book is done. So the book release is coming. I'm so excited. Oh, God is so good. Oh, my God. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Bye.